Adams County officials just wrapped up a press conference to discuss the rising numbers of COVID-19 cases in the community and what's being done to turn around what they call an alarming trend.
WGEM's Kara Biernat was there today. She is live in Quincy tonight with details. Kara?
Dylan and Mackenzie, city and county officials say Adams County is headed in the wrong direction. They say it's time for the community to turn things around as we head into the holidays. Public Health Administrator Jared Welch says people are easing up on restrictions and that needs to change. Assistant State's Attorney Josh Jones says they will enforce mask wearing as they are mandated in Illinois. He says while police aren't looking to write citations proactively, he says if someone files a complaint against you, you can be charged under Illinois law.
This is one of those things you see on Facebook. There's no law against it. Folks, there is. Under Illinois law 20 ILCS 2305 subsection 8.1, if you are in violation of a regulation of the Department of Public Health, it is a Class A misdemeanor. It is a law. It's not unconstitutional. There is nothing like that. It will be litigated in court if we need to, but there is a law, and you have to follow laws even if you disagree with them.
Jones says if you have a complaint to contact the police department. Now, Welch also talked about finally having the ability to do rapid tests. He called it a game changer, and you'll hear more from him about that coming up tonight on WGEM News at 6. Live in Quincy, Kara Biernat, WGEM News.
Okay, thank you, Kara. And Jones says if you choose not to wear a mask into a business and the business takes action against you, it could result in a Class A misdemeanor with a fine of up to $2,500.
Meantime, more free COVID-19 testing is available at the Adams County Health Department as the community continues to see a spike in cases. Nurse Helen Valey says that having community-wide testing abilities allows the health department to better track and understand the disease spread in the community. She says with hopes to keep the spread from schools and businesses.
It's important that we can catch the people who fall through the cracks that can't get tested and can't afford testing, and that it will help us maintain the numbers and hopefully decrease the COVID incidents we're having.
And if you missed the opportunity today, they will be testing tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the Health Department parking lot. That is at 330 Vermont in downtown Quincy. Coming up on WGEM News at 6, hear from people who live here in Adams County as well as out of town and why they're pushing for more testing just like this.
Meanwhile, the McDonough County Health Department reported another COVID-related death today, bringing the county's total to 18. The most recent victim was a man in his 70s. The county, which is still at a warning level, currently has 102 active COVID-19 cases. And now let's take a look at the active COVID-19 cases in the tri-states as a whole. There are 598 active cases in west central Illinois, 272 in northeast Missouri, and 273 in southeast Iowa.
All right, yesterday we talked about the potential for some strong storms in the area. There's still a very, very limited threat, but the bulk of that, like we talked about yesterday, is going to stay up in parts of Iowa. There may be a couple of these storms that kind of leak into southeast Iowa, so we'll keep an eye up on Keokuk. That's a look across the area. It looks nice and clean right now with pretty decent temperatures out there. But you can see some thunderstorms firing up to the north of us. We'll watch as some of those kind of transition to the south. In the main weather forecast, we're talking about some cold Canadian air. Those details coming up in just a few minutes.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Well, turning to Decision 2020 coverage, Senate candidate Teresa Greenfield made a stop in Lee County this morning to talk with local farmers.
The Democrat making her case to take the seat currently held by Republican Joni Ernst, stressing the importance of trade schools and affordable education for rural Iowans. Greenfield also highlighting today the places where Iowa falls behind nationally and the way she plans to put the state ahead.
We're 50th in the nation in bridge suitability right here in Iowa. That stinks. We certainly have issues about access to broadband and high-speed internet plus costs. That stinks. And if we're going to compete around this globe, we've got to make sure we are investing heavily in our infrastructure.
Greenfield says another priority for her, investing in small businesses like the family-owned farms that she visited today.
And now to the presidential race. President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden will hit the stage tonight for their final debate.
Last one, an opportunity for the candidates to deliver their closing arguments before a big national audience.
Alice Barr is in Nashville to tell us what to watch for tonight.
With the candidates arriving in Nashville and the plexiglass barriers in place, the stage is set for a presidential debate like no other. It's the last chance before Election Day for President Trump and Joe Biden to make their case to tens of millions of Americans, looking for the clear policy discussion lacking in the last chaotic debate.
Biden has an opportunity to prosecute the case against Trump. Donald Trump has to make that case that we're going in the right direction and stick with me.
Amid questions over whether the president will soften his tone, today he's choosing to pick a fight with CBS News. The White House releasing its own recording of a 60 Minutes interview the president claims showed bias, hatred, and rudeness. The network defending what it calls full, fair, and contextual reporting, releasing a preview clip in which President Trump cited the economy over coronavirus as his top domestic priority.
To get back to normal, get back to where we were, to have the economy rage and be great with jobs and everybody be happy, and that's where we're going.
CBS also releasing part of a companion interview with Biden, who has avoided answering whether he supports adding justices to the Supreme Court, now saying he wants a bipartisan commission to study court reform and keep the high court from becoming a political football.
Presidents come and go. Supreme Court justices stay for generations.
Debate already raging before the candidates ever set foot on stage. In an effort to cut down on the interruptions tonight, the candidates' microphones will be muted at certain points while the other is speaking, though there will still be plenty of opportunities for them to go back and forth. In Nashville, Tennessee, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And it all gets underway right here on WGEM at 7 o'clock tonight. In the meantime, let's talk other topics now. And new at 5, thinking about going to college can be kind of scary, especially in the midst of a pandemic, which is why John Wood Community College administrators holding an open house to make that transition a little bit smoother. They hope this event will help people make the leap and register for college. There will be admissions help, financial aid,